This is a spooky furnace. I did nothing but climb into the trailer. It's trying to light. Fantastic. I don't know if you can tell, but the thermostat is off. Kind of wondering if I have a bad thermostat. It's on the list. What's going on, you guys? Welcome back to the channel. What I've got going on here today is I wanted to do a little bit of a project update. We just got through with our last race of the year here a couple weeks ago, and now it's time to get down to business and refocus a little bit, figure out what's next. To start, like I say, we're in the trailer. The Dart needs a couple things. On that list for now is kind of winterize it. I'm not sure what everybody else does for their winterization of their race cars, but since the Dart needs to live in the trailer, it is going to be a little cold. And before I put it back in here for its winter slumber, I drained a bunch of water out of it. Now, I know some people just drain the water out of the race cars. Over the years, I've changed my philosophy, and I'm going to actually dump antifreeze in it. And so in the spring, we'll flush it out and put water back in. The other thing on the list for the Dart, we have got to sort out that shifter. As you may remember from my Halloween Classic videos, that 9,000-year-old B&M Pro Ratchet shifter, which I love, by the way, started acting the fool. We need to sort that out. Oh, mother father. All right. So I'm trying to get around the trailer. I've left a couple of things in here. And so, yes, I have caused myself issues by creating a maze in here. Here's what it is. I have a trailer, and I couldn't be happier about that. So we're going to get in there. We're going to at least pull that cover off the shifter. I'll see if we can clean it, maybe, lubricate it a little bit as far as the mechanism goes. So that is your Dart update. I'm going to finish pulling the hood off, and I'm going to dump that antifreeze in here. All right, I left the antifreeze somewhere over by the door. I thought I was going to turn the video off or pause it for a minute, but I thought, well, if I fell, then that would be funny. I didn't fall. Hope you weren't hoping for that, by the way. There's my generic Super Tech antifreeze. It's ready to use. Isn't that good? I don't know. I probably shouldn't have bought the pre-diluted. Straight, antifreeze would have been better for my situation. But protection up to minus 34 degrees Fahrenheit. If it gets negative 34 in Salt Lake City, well, I think hell has frozen over and we're all going to die. If you listen carefully, you can hear the sound of the water making its way through the system. What we're going to do now, though, is, one, get rid of the bottle. At least get it out of my way. And I'm going to work my way back through the obstacle course. Had to stop here. If time and money allows, and I can find a good fiberglass guy, let's talk about putting a Hemi Dart scoop on this thing, huh? What do you think? I really want to. Well, we need to get down here, turn on the battery. If we can find it. There we go. Turned on the master switch. Get in here to the water pump, and I'm going to cycle that for a little bit. Just want to make sure that there is antifreeze evenly distributed about the system. And I only added a gallon of the pre-mixed antifreeze. So I may go grab another bottle and dump in it. But for now, we're going to call that good. I think we have a few more days before we freeze. So yeah, so over the winter, let's talk about this hood, guys. We got to get that sorted out. We got to go get the shifter sorted, and I'm going to do that here probably pretty soon in the trailer. I'm at least going to try. Got the battery turned back off. Also need to change the oil in the golf cart, I think. And the generic mini bike needs a battery. So, some interior projects. The trailer, first step, we're going to test that thermostat one of these days. Hopefully soon. I have one, another one. Hopefully that sorts out my problem. All right, let's move outside. We'll check on some other things. The trailer, doing a little winterizing. Sucking some antifreeze into the system. Making sure we've cleared out all the water. That looks pretty good there. Nice and pink. A little dark in here, but that is pink as well. So beautiful. Starting to see pink. Alright. Beautiful. We have got sufficient antifreeze sucked into the system. So I'm going to take that out. And we'll dump the rest down the drains. Say this compartment door needs a rebuild too. Let's put it on the list. And then the old flatbed. If we can get the charger going, the flatbed is going to Matt's hauling a charger, and my kid's going to drive it. So it's probably about time for a bearing repack, reseal, and I jackknifed the camper on this one time back in the day. It's amazing how strong that camper was. Actually, I think it was a jack that was in the way, but that was a stout corner. And actually, I've been planning forever to add a winch to the front of this. I have the winch. I just need to gather a few parts. So we're going to try and get that done here before spring as well. I think also on my list of to-dos is to get a master battery disconnect put together in here. And honestly, if I could find an old RV generator or, a gently used one, wouldn't mind trying to find a way to get that set up in here. But we do have a generator. That'll work to power things up. So we're not in a bad spot there. So anyway, I just came out to disconnect the batteries while we were in Idaho racing. The batteries, we determined, were kind of sucking. So we replaced one of them due to the cost of batteries. Plan is to get another one before spring. So now moving right along. You remember Daryl. My boy's 1974 Plymouth Duster. Daryl needs some help. The old slant said, I'm done, I'm tired. I'm tired, man. I don't want to do it anymore. There's some rods knocking in there. We got to get that jerked out. For now, we're going to just put another slant back in it so he can drive it. It is pretty much a seasonal car. By the time the snow starts flying steady, it had been parked anyway. That's a winter project. We do have some other plans for it. My boys acquired an A-body 8 3/4, and he laid claim to a 383 I have in the garage. So he thinks he's going to big block this car. I've had big block A-bodies before. I have a big block A-body. I think it's fun. I've had a Duster with a big block. And, some guys say it's too much up front. It doesn't handle very well, but yeah, it's not going to be a corner carver. It was fun driving on the street. He'll just have to learn to be careful. And he is. He's a sensible lad. So that's Daryl's ambition. New engine, or replacement engine, I would say. And then down the road, my kid will get the big block and torque flight swapped in there. He does also have big bolt pattern front disc brakes for the car. He'll get those rebuilt and added, and the 8 3/4 added, and this will be a fun, ratty cruiser. Moving into the garage, we've got our work cut out for us. I've been in the middle of a purge, you could say. I emptied the shelves, pulled everything kind of out. I've got a stack of things that I'm going to be getting rid of. Not this. Sorry, guys. We'll talk more about that soon. But this is a big block 400. It's got a 727 behind it. I don't know the history on it. It came with a car I bought several years ago that unfortunately I sold. Maybe we'll talk about that one day. Everything that I wish I had back. Actually, I wasn't too attached to that car. It was a 76 Duster. It was a huge project. The 72 Duster. I'd like to feature this a little bit more. We just don't really have the cycles to work on it a whole lot. I really don't have, I guess, where it's at. Bodywork's probably about all that it needs in my skill level. It needs to go back to the chassis guy. More tubing, a little bit more TIG welding, fitting parts, drivetrain, seats, things like that. And of course the tin work down the road. Maybe we'll get a little bit more in depth with this during the winter when we've got some time. The Charger has become a shelf again since it won't start. I've been contemplating calling this my project car at the strip entry, we'll see. We want to drag race it. I want to get my kid in it and let him make some burns down the track with it. Shouldn't be too crazy. We are hoping it'll run 12s, but it's more likely maybe a 13-second car. That'll be good for him. Needs tires. And as you may recall from some of my other videos, I can get it to fire, but I won't stay running. It is technically not running and driving at this moment. My thought is it doesn't need much. Might be a gray area. Might be cheating a little bit. Want to do a tune-up on it, replace all the recycled ignition components, cap rotor wires, put new plugs in it. Hopefully there's no vacuum leak, but we may just for fun, go through and replace some gaskets on the top side. We had to do some shifter adjusting with it, back in the summer when we did drive it. It wouldn't go into high gear, and it seemed like the shifter was binding. Then, of course, the 66 Valiant two-door post with the squeaky door hinge and the sticky door latch button. Last time you saw this car, we were cutting and grinding and trying to get down through the rust, getting ready to put the subframe connectors in it officially. I don't know what I'm going to do just yet on that. I do still have some metal prep to do. Contemplated the idea of maybe this declaring for the project cars at the strip challenge. As you can see, that's a daunting task. Even if it just needed the welding work. I've got my work cut out for me. A lot of cleaning, a lot of metal work, tons of cleaning. And I don't even know what drivetrain I'm going to use in this car yet. There's nothing in it. There's no rear end in it. That might not be a feasible option. I've got a lot of ideas for this car. Just not a lot of time and money to do it. I would love to leave this thing ratty, make a ton of power, maybe put some boost on it, and maybe go small tire, no prep. I've always been a bracket racer and only kind of a mild street racer when I was younger, so that'll be a new experience too. This car would be so cool to do that because it's ratty. Everybody'd look at it and laugh. And then they get drugged. As you can see, I do have my work cut out for me. No matter what I do, just as far as projects go. We are planning to be at Mopars or I still call it Mopars at the strip, guys. Years later. We're going to be at Matt's. We're going to have my Dart there. And with any luck, we'll have the Charger there. That is the plan. If a miracle were to happen, and I could get something going with this dude, man, I'd have to figure out how to get a third car down there. We'll see, guys. We'll see. We have a few months before that. I've still got some organizing to do in the garage. Clearing space over there. I need to get a bench built. That's also on the list. There's my kid's 8 3/4. He needs to get out here and start cleaning it up. Needs to get these brakes sorted. Get some axles ordered. We're going to replace these, I think. These are factory. We're going to put some green bearing axles in it. And he needs a center section. Not sure what gears we want to put in it just yet. It's going to go in his Duster and he's going to drive it. So I'd say we're not going to get too crazy. There's another 8 3/4. That one's narrowed crazy. That's certainly an option for my Valiant. But this was my plan. I've got a Dana 60 right here. It needs to be narrowed. But the gear tag on it says 456. So this very well could be a factory 456 geared Dana 60. There's also a list of projects up above. I don't know what I'm going to do with this pedal car. I just love pedal cars. And I'm a big fan of Tonkas too. We've got some trucks we're going to redo. Some originals that we're just going to leave alone. And then some of my restos. They're getting dusty. I'm a Utah Jazz fan from way back. That was a hoop that I hung in my room as a kid when I first started playing. And for you BMX guys, freestyle guys, there's my bike. I'm a bit of a hoarder. I'm not gonna say hoarder. I'm gonna say collector of fine things. I do need to do some work on that. I want this to be functional again. It's all there, just needs a few parts fixed. And then this is where the bench will go once I get things sorted out. So we're gonna be busy, guys. Hopefully we've got lots of great content for you. Hopefully you find it entertaining at least, and maybe even helpful. That is the plan. I do this because I enjoy it, but I also do it because I'm hoping to put some motivation out there for some of you, like I've found by watching other guys' channels. So for those of you putting out good content, thank you. But lots of great stuff out there on the interwebs. But thanks for the encouragement. Thanks for the motivation. We're going to get started on some of these projects again here pretty heavy pretty soon. If you haven't already, please subscribe, please like, please share. And if you are a subscriber, you're fantastic. I appreciate it. Thank you very much, and we'll catch you on the next one.